Hi guys, welcome back to Warthog Defense. I'm Seat. In this Ukrainian update we are going to see a very significant event which is connected with the Ukrainian strategy in this part of the war. Namely, we can see the silhouettes of the Ukrainian strategy after the new year, because it's obvious we are not going to see some huge counter-offensive movements or actions of that kind for various reasons, but now we are seeing a degrading of Russian infrastructure on Ukrainian and Russian soil, attacks on Russian naval bases, on Russian Black Sea Fleet and on Russian aviation. Now we have a downing of two very important Russian planes. One of them is Russian A-50 plane, which is Russian observation plane or something like Russian AVAX. Obvious we are going to see a continuation of this tactic in the future, so stay tuned. We will have all the updates and everything that is important in Ukraine you will see on this channel.
Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Valery Zaluzhny confirmed on January 15th that Ukraine had destroyed a Russian Berev A-50 military observation plane and an Ilyushin Il-22 plane that operates as an airborne command post. The downing came less than a month after Ukraine shot down 4 Russian planes within 1 week, 3 Russian Su-34 supersonic fighter-bomber aircraft and 1 Su-34 fighter-bomber jet near occupied Mariupol in Donetsk Oblast. The A-50 alone reportedly costs $330 million, and although estimates vary, Western sources say that Russia has fewer than 10 in its fleet. Belarusian partisans attacked another A-50 aircraft at an airbase near Minsk in February 2023, causing an unknown amount of damage. Russia's supply of the Il-22 plane is not extensive either. During the short-lived rebellion of the late Yevgeny Prigozhin's Wagner mercenary group in June 2023, the mutineers reportedly shot down an Il-22 and 6 Russian military helicopters. At the time, the UK Defense Ministry said that Russia only had 12 such aircraft. Beyond Ukraine's downing of the planes, another Su-34 jet was allegedly burned down on January 4th at the Shogol Air Base outside of the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, some 2,000 kilometers east of the Ukrainian border. Earlier, Ukrainska Pravda reported that HUR was behind the torching, citing an undisclosed intelligence source. The Su-34 costs up to $50 million. Air Force Commander Mykola Oleshchuk said on December 17th that Russian air defenses shot down its own Su-25 jet, which costs around $11 million. Ukraine's Air Force also destroyed a Russian Su-24M bomber on December 5th. All told, the combined monetary loss of all these aircraft since the beginning of December could be north of $600 million. The following audio recording emerged, which apparently demonstrates the Il-22M requesting urgent landing in Anapa, calling for ambulance and fire crews. Still a bit ambiguous, but Russian Telegram Channel fighter bomber seems to confirm the loss of a Russian A-50 aircraft over Azov Sea yesterday. The last paragraph is also fairly cryptic, but he does mention air defense. Whether that was involved in damage to both the A-50 and the Il-22M is unclear. A tragedy is always a tragedy, especially when it's of this scale. Regardless of who was in the plane, we most likely will not know who is to blame for the deaths of pilots. To those who died, eternal flight. To the wounded, a speedy recovery and return to duty. But you better demand the details from the Ministry of Defense, who consider themselves to be the real patriots of the country and know exactly what can be posted and what cannot. And yes, it's probably still worth trying to go back to the roots, when tank crews were commanded by tank crews, pilots by pilots, and anti-aircraft gunners by anti-aircraft gunners. It definitely won't get any worse. And let's see the other news. spectacular vaporization of a Russian tank by a $500 Ukrainian drone on the front line in Avdiivka. In the middle of winter, an unprecedented thing is happening in Russia. Under the pressure of bad maintenance, shortage of parts and workers, the heating system is collapsing all over Russia. Man in Podolsk took out a home improvement loan, but Russia is a great power, so his flat got flooded.
Нет слов. Больше недели. 2 недели без отопления. Морозы сумасшедшие. Свежий ремонт был сделан. Переехал только с семьей. Кредит на ремонт брал. Вот что с потолком. Коммунальщиков не дождался. Пошел перекрывать, чуть током не убило. Вот, посмотрите, какие кучи. Эта часть уже убрали. Кровать просто плавает. Плавает кровать.
Коллапс устроили в Подольске. Ужас. Как можно было? Куда смотрело правительство?
Ничего не проверили.
Это не только.
Весь этаж, это 3-й. Что творится 4-й, 5-й и остальные, представить страшно.
Russia freezes, and Putin remains obsessed with his failed military adventure in Ukraine. Moscow is suffering half-day power outages amid a system saturated by the cold snap. Rostov, Kursk, and Belgorod are other cities where millions of Russians are freezing. Canada and Russia are suffering from an unprecedented cold snap sweeping across the northern hemisphere. However, with different consequences. In Russia, several factors come together to explain why a country rich in energy production and exporting its surplus is frozen. Even though Canada is experiencing the same cold spell, people there are sitting in front of their warm stoves. While Canada invested in infrastructure, Russia invested in feeding oligarchs, and the results are now being felt. But Putin's desire for empire also contributed significantly to this. In Russia, infrastructure collapsed as a result of years of public disinvestment, accelerated by sending skilled workers to the front or to factories linked to the military industry to prepare and maintain the system. Pictures of the Moscow subway. At the beginning of 2024, Putin ordered military spending to be restructured to increase a whole 68% to compensate for its military incompetence in Ukraine, and reduced the budget for health, education, and state support services by 31.7% this year to 29.9%. This also includes spending on infrastructure. Since the start of the war, oil and gas revenues have fallen 24%, representing a $99.4 billion tax decline in 2023 and 24% of federal budget revenues. There is less money, but Putin decides to spend more on the invasion. Moscow needs to reduce the budget deficit of 3 trillion rubles, which is 1.8% of its GDP. The weakness of the ruble, which makes exports more expensive, already expensive due to the need to leave a quota for smugglers, aggravates the situation. It has everything to do with the cold, the model proposed by Russia and supported by many in the West, which consists in attacking the defense of Ukraine's sovereignty, is being exposed with cruel coldness. That's what they're selling by being tied to Putin. The dream of a Russian victory freezes on its own territory.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video, and the ending was really heartwarming. comment, like, subscribe, become our member, and stay strong.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.